There's one simple relationship skill that pretty much every couple needs to learn at some point. Because at some point, you are going to be near to someone and you're going to be upset. You're going to be tired. You're going to be spent. Maybe you'll be even annoyed. And in that moment, the last thing you want to do is talk to that person about how you feel. And as a result, when they check in because you're clearly off, how do you respond? You say, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. The two words that can make or break your partner's trust in you. So today on the podcast, we're going to talk about how to be trustworthy and how every time you respond that you are fine, how important it is that you really mean it. This is Reclaiming the Gentleman. I'm Dave Lashansky. Now, today's episode on trustworthiness is a tricky one because the thing we're talking about, this idea of responding that we're fine when we're not fine, is so common and it is so easy to do. We convince ourselves that when we tell our partners we're fine, we're making our lives and theirs easier. We convince ourselves that by being fine, everything will be fine. Sometimes we even convince ourselves that we are fine. In fact, most of the time, we men do believe we are fine when we say it. And herein lies the key to trustworthiness. Because when we tell her we are fine and we're not, when she can see something is wrong, something's bothering you, something is off, and you're proclaiming to be fine, she is very aware in that moment, one of two things. Either you're lying to her and hiding something, or you are so unaware of your body and the energy you're putting into the world that it's actually alarming to her. That if you can't feel what is happening to you, if you are unaware of what's happening inside of you, how are you going to know when a threat is coming? How finely tuned could your spidey senses be to protect and care for your family if you can't even sense the energy in your own body? This is so important, and it is the work, it is exactly the pinpoint moment where the work begins for so many men, and where the work deepens for so many men who've already been doing the work. Even just recently, I've had this experience, and this tends to be my pattern too, where when I'm unaware of something that's been lurking in my consciousness that I am unaware of, and it sneaks up on me, and it shows up in my life as anxiety or stress, and it shows up in my life in a way that throws me off. Very often, I become unaware for a few moments up to a whole day as to why I'm feeling so off. The answers we need about what's happening for us always exists in the body. And as we deepen in our self-development, as we grow, as we uncover new things to overcome inside of us, trauma, pain, unconscious beliefs, self-hate, body awareness, understanding, being aware of the energy in our bodies, the energies we're emitting as we move through the world becomes the most important skill because it shows us what we need. One of the skills that I help men understand in my men's circles, in my courses, and in my coaching work is how powerful the skill of sitting in stillness, sitting in silence, checking in, noticing what's happening below your neck is. It is the skill that will take you to your next threshold every single time. And it's the skill that, even just recently, I recognized goes even deeper than I thought it did. Becoming masterful at attuning to your body, checking in with and harnessing your own energy is the key to trustworthiness. Because if you can be aware of, accountable for, and really the master of your energy, your well-being, you can be trustworthy. The foundation of trust in a relationship needs to be that we care for ourselves, that each partner is accountable for their own well-being first and foremost. Because only then can we provide, can we come to a place of abundant energy, of overflowing energy to care for others, to care for the family. And if you're someone who has been raised to or believed you need to prioritize other people over you, if you're someone who prioritizes your children's well-being over you, my question for you is this: how sustainable is that? How long do you think you can keep doing this and staying conscious and being your best? How are you doing with it? Because for a lot of us who believe we need to care for others before ourselves, we have learned very early how to check out when things are hard, how to ignore those voices in our body that are screaming for our attention until we can't ignore them anymore, until they show up as breakdowns, panic attacks, chronic illness, fatigue, exhaustion, burnout, depression. All of these things have origins in a lack of self-awareness and self-care. And these are skills we can and need to learn. Because ultimately, all of us want to be of service to each other. Ultimately, especially in relationship, we want to show our love to another. And in order to do that, in order to earn someone's trust so that they will open up to you, to have access to their innermost thoughts, feelings, needs, desires, and love, trust, being someone trustworthy is essential. There's a story my mentor shares with me regularly that I actually think I've shared on this podcast before, where a young student goes to his master and asks, "Master, I want to be trustworthy. How do I do it? How can I show them that I am trustworthy?" And the master turns to his student with a glint in his eye and says simply, "Be trustworthy." It is that simple. To be trustworthy, we must be aware. To be trustworthy, we can't lie, even unconsciously. The reason I believe it is so easy, so tempting to respond, "I'm fine," when someone checks in with you is because when we say we're fine, when we believe that we're fine and we're not, it allows us to check out, to remove our attention from the experience of what is happening inside of us. And as a result, we don't have to deal with it. But in effect, what we're doing when we do that, when we say, "I'm fine, but we're not," is we show the person who's checking in with us that we're not trustworthy or that we don't care to acknowledge their experience. The irony for so many people pleasers is that we spend so much time trying to manipulate other people's experience of the world that we actually believe we're being generous. We actually believe we are being generous by lying, by saying we're fine when we're not. We think we're masters of helping people feel good and feel comfortable. And in some ways we are, but this one is inescapable. And it's why I love it so much, because it's one of the simplest tools in relationship. To dedicate yourself to never lying about being fine. This is a commitment I'm making in 2026. Because yes, I still do this too. I think to some extent we all do, because we don't understand how important it is. So, are you with me that in 2026, we will never lie about being fine when we're not? Now, I want to caveat this, because by never lying about being fine, I'm not inviting you to dump on your partner all the things that are making you not fine. I'm not inviting you to verbally process why you might not be fine, or why you're not sure whether you're fine or not, or what's going on with you or not. The invitation is to either say, "I'm not sure, but I'm going to figure it out," or "I'm not fine right now, but I'm going to figure it out." To take responsibility for your own well-being and to actually do the work to figure it out. Go journal, go walk, go be in silence, call your friends, show up to your men's circle, show up to your coaching, show up to your therapy. All of these things are ways for you to process and understand what's happening for you. You need them. We all do. And if you don't have these outlets in your life, you need to go to davelashansky.com and sign up for my waiting list for my men's circles. There are no more excuses. These spaces are essential. Just recently, I was calling the support of my friends, and we held a circle. And in that circle, I got to explore exactly what I'm talking about in this episode. I got to explore what it was that was bothering me, that was sitting under the surface, that was creating this weight to my energy that I didn't understand yet. No matter how long, how many years, how many circles, how many ceremonies you've done, the work doesn't end. As long as you are living, you will need other people to support you. Independence is a myth. It is a temporary state. We are not meant to be alone, to move through the world, to face our challenges in life alone. We're simply not. Yes, there will be moments where you, on your own, individually have to take action, have to face hard challenges. But that cannot be a permanent state. It doesn't work. We're not built that way. And the real truth is, we don't need to. Part of being trustworthy is being accountable for your well-being. And being accountable for your well-being requires you to invest in connecting with other people authentically, vulnerably, honestly. Trustworthiness requires you to grow your connection, your capacity for connection, to toe the edges of your comfort so that you stay growing and stay supported through every challenge and obstacle you face in life. There's no way out of that. There's no way out of life without obstacle. So make sure you are supported in it. Make sure you are doing the work to be trustworthy, to know yourself, because in the end, to know yourself, to be accountable for yourself, is the most important foundation for your love. Because when you know yourself, what you give is so much more powerful, potent. When you know yourself, your presence is so much more alive and safe. When you know yourself, you can love more wholly. When you know yourself, you can be trustworthy. Thank you for listening to this episode of Reclaiming the Gentle Man. I am here to help you in your journey of self-awareness, of accessing deeper presence, of becoming the steady man you dream of being, the steady man she has asked you to be. And in order to do that, we need each other. I believe every man, especially every man in relationship, needs a men's group. This is where we learn together, grow together, and build the tools of self-mastery together. Every great challenge in my life has required me to turn to the men I know and trust around me and receive support and receive guidance. And every time I do that, while it feels uncomfortable, while it's not a fun thing to do per se, I come away 10 times more capable, 10 times more powerful. And I know that because my wife tells me that. I know that because my work, my career, my life feel better when I do it. The question is not if you need one, it's where you can find one. If you are looking, go to daveleshansky.com, sign up for the priority waitlist so that you know when my men's circles and my courses are being offered. I would love to support you in this. If my work doesn't resonate with you, if you're looking for something different, still get in touch. You can DM me on Instagram at Dave_Leshansky. I have amazing men who are running their own circles, their own groups in their own time, and I would love to connect you to those as well. I'm also connected to women's groups. If you're a woman listening to this podcast and seeking something like this for yourself, I have another great resource that I know of that is opening soon, and I would love to share it with you. Please don't hesitate to get in touch. Wishing you a great rest of your day or night, wherever this finds you. Thanks again for listening. I'll be back in a week.